What's up, you guys? I wanted to go live a little bit and show you what I'm meal prepping for the week. I'm not doing a full meal prep. I'm not going to prepare my meats or anything. I'm just preparing some vegetables. Just simply because I do stay home now, but before I used to do everything at the same time on Sundays, and it would save me a lot of time during the week. So if you've been super busy, you know, you've got a lot going on, you've got kids, games, and practices, and your stuff too. Maybe you work all day, and then you've got to help them with their homework, and you've got everything piled on. This is going to save you some time, and I'm going to say it very just as bluntly as I can. Keep it simple. I know it's a hard thing to sacrifice, you know, fancy foods and variety, but when you're trying to follow a meal plan and you're trying to stay on track and save time, there's got to be a sacrifice somewhere. So you can do one or two things. You can spend the day on Sunday and prepare everything in advance and have everything ready, or you can portion it out into 2 to 3 day batches and have things ready, or you can keep it completely simple and do things very bland, and that can be boring. I'm a person who can handle boring, and I'm the person who can handle eating the same thing over and over for a couple of days and not get bored. I can just add hot sauce to it and we're good. But if you're someone who's like, I like for variety to be included, and I like to still have time with my kids and mealtime, then I'm going to recommend that you go back into the blog and you pick a meal plan from there. And you choose those because those are seasoned well. It gives you variety, and it lets you have that flexibility of preparing everything for a whole week and saving you time in the long run. Okay, so all I'm doing today is I'm preparing some Brussels sprouts because I love these. I like to toast them with a little bit of smoked sea salt, and the green beans as well. I do that. I do smoked sea salt, and then I add some paprika to these. So that's really all I'm going to do, and then I've got an acorn squash that I'm going to put in there, and I like to use that for breakfast. So I'm just going to put a little bit for me. I'm not going to prep for everybody, for my kids or my family, but you know, when I was working full-time and taking night classes, because I did that for a while, I worked full-time, taught all day. I'd get to the, thanks for turning the lights off, I'd get to the school around 7:30, and then I would get out just enough time to pick up my girls from the babysitter, drop them off here with my husband, take off and go to class at night, and be back by like 10 o'clock, do some laundry and work a little bit, and then go to bed. So, and my workout would either happen in the morning, really early before school. I would get up at 5 and get my workout in, or if I, for some reason, slept in and snoozed, I would stay up till 1 o'clock if I had to get my workout in, but I wouldn't skip it. But the food part was always covered, because Sundays I spent the entire day cooking. I would cook the food that I was going to eat, and then the other stuff that I wasn't cooking, I would put it in Ziploc bags. And maybe tomorrow I'll show some of the Ziploc meals that I used to make. And I would prepare, like I'd buy chicken breast, the pack of chicken breast, and I'd pick maybe 3 recipes that I was okay with the kids eating for dinner so that I could eat with them and that I could eat with them. And I'd season it all, and I'd put it in a Ziploc bag, and I'd freeze it. And that way I just had to, in the morning, put it in a crock pot, and it cooked while I was away. I could leave it cooking for 8 hours, come home straight away, and it was ready. I'd serve them. This is usually the days where my husband worked night shift and he was still asleep when I got home. And then we had a sitter at night. So like I had a really nasty schedule before I was able to come home as a coach. Like it was not fun at all, working full time and tending to my kids and having to still cook and clean and do all that stuff. So meal prepping really saved me a lot of time. Doing this little bit on Sundays one day saved me tons of time cooking during the week. Like I would not cook at all during the week. It went into a crock pot, and that crock pot had a liner, and we had paper plates, and I wouldn't wash very many dishes. So it was really nice. My kids learned how to clear the table and wipe it down, and that's about it. Like my days went furious, so fast and furious. So I'm just gonna prep a little bit of these green beans. These are Brussels sprouts. I don't know, I know some of you probably know what these are, but I didn't. So I'm telling you, these are Brussels sprouts. And when I first ate these, I was like, what are these? And I didn't like them. I boiled them, I think. It was gross. So, but I found that if I cut the ends off, super important, cut the ends off because they're really bitter at the ends. And you can either saute them with a little bit of salt and paprika, or you can bake them at 400 degrees. And I say higher so that it toasts them pretty quick and dehydrates them. They come out crispy like chips, and I love that. So I cut them in half so that it dehydrates them a little bit easier. And then I'm going to toss them in some oil and salt them lightly with some smoked sea salt. I found that smoked sea salt at Ross one time. I was just, you know how they have the food stuff in the pantry aisle up there? And I found it by chance and I was like, this sounds good. But if you want to use like smoked paprika, I know they sell that at H-E-B or at the grocery stores. That works too. I don't really think paprika has a flavor unless it's smoked. So this is plenty. And if that thing is like flashing at me, it's my little camera light, because I hate being in the dark, and my kitchen is so dark, you guys. That's better. It's not trying to blind me and give me fucking Tourette's. Give me a seizure here. Alright, so there it is. I've got some green beans. I'm going to save these Brussels sprouts for later. I'm going to put them back in the little bag. And that's it. I'm just going to toss some olive oil on there and some sea salt. And that's it. The acorn squash, if you've never eaten acorn squash, you guys, this is amazing. I'm going to show you in a minute how I prepare it. So many different ways you can eat that thing. It's so good. Let me get my smoked sea salt real quick from in here. Put some Himalayan sea salt, hot sauce. Alright, it's missing. Or not. Some chili. Now somebody, there it is. I was going to say, somebody grabbed my sea salt. So I think I'm going to even add some like chili flake, some chili powder onto my green beans because I like it. So here's the smoked sea salt, you guys, and it's got a little bit of glare. It smells like being barbecued. Like, it smells like barbecue. It's so amazing. I love it. It smells just like mesquite, and it smells so good, and it gives it a different flavor. Like, you're just like, oh, that's good. You want kids to eat their vegetables? Throw some of that on there. And let me tell you, my kids love it when I throw smoked paprika or that smoked sea salt on there. They think it's like the best thing ever. And you know, my older boys don't even like it, and they're sitting there eating all the green beans, which is so fun. So it doesn't need a lot. I'm just gonna put a little bit. I forgot to oil my Brussels sprouts. So this will be enough veggies just for me. I'm gonna pre-cook mine because I'm following 80-day obsession, and I get hungry immediately, and I don't want to wait for my food to cook. So while I'm eating, I'm making the kids food. So if you're somebody who stays home, or you have that flexibility and you're like, well, I want to eat what my kids are eating, well, this is a good way to not eat what your kids are eating and feed yourself while you're cooking. That way you're not tempted to eat whatever they've got. I know that when I'm full, no matter what they're eating, I don't have any. Like, I'm not as tempted. So there you go. I'm going to put a little bit of chili powder on here. I hope this is it. Taco mix. This is not what I want. I don't want taco green beans. Hold on. Chili powder. Here we go. I don't want taco seasoning on my green beans. A little bit of chili powder. I like that. A little bit of kick. And that's it. I'm just going to bake it 400. Let me make sure it's 400 for like 20 minutes, and it'll toast those both. It'll toast my green beans too, and I really would prefer those toasted than anything else. So I'm gonna get another cooking sheet out, and I'm gonna show you this acorn squash. I hope that doesn't have a little glare on y'all. I can see a glare on me, so I hope that's not on you either. I broke my phone screen, so like my camera gets glare on it. That's from the cracked. Yeah, it's from a cracked screen. Is it glare? Can you tell me if it's glared? Yeah, I think it is glared. Well, oh well. Let me see. Let me show you guys this real quick. So acorn squash, super awesome. They're really cheap. I like to make these for just breakfast or really anytime. They're so good. Kind of take a cleaver approach to it. This one's really green still. They're kind of hard to cut through. Just know that. But once you get through them, they've got these little seeds in there. Oh, it smells so good. That's good. We just take the little seeds out. You can use a spoon or your hands if you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. And you just put some oil on it. You're going to bake it in the oven too. Just for a short period of time. You know, you just bake it maybe 30 minutes and it's ready to go. You can leave this skin on there, you guys. This doesn't come off. It'll soften up whenever you bake it, and you can use this for a bowl. So you can either chop it up with the skin on there and put it in the oven, and then you can make like a little breakfast side with honey, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and it can be a breakfast item. Or you can season it, season like ground turkey or ground meat, and have a little breakfast bowl. And this can be just without anything, just oil, maybe a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's good too. Or you can use like Italian seasoning, and you can make this like a little bowl for if you want a puree soup, and you put it in there. It's good too. Chicken, sometimes using chicken taco seasoning, some black beans, and shred it, you know, just shred the chicken up, and this can be the perfect bowl for that too. Like, there's so many ways you can make this. It's so amazing. But one whole thing right here is like, that's a serving for you. This is like a veggie serving right here, and it's really, really handy whenever you've got like, what do I eat? I'm tired of eating the green stuff. I know I get tired of the green stuff, the Brussels sprouts and the green beans and asparagus. I get tired of it too, so this acorn squash really comes in handy so that I'm not eating the same thing over and over. It adds variety, and it's high in fiber too. It's really good for you. So just I love the acorn squash. You know, it's a winter squash. It can, if you're doing shift shop, it can count as a purple, or I'm sorry, a yellow or a green. So just know that as in shift shop, this one counts a little bit different. It can be a yellow or a green. So just kind of pay attention to what meal plan you're following. So I'm just gonna rub a little bit of oil on it. I'm gonna line because I hate washing dishes. I hate washing dishes. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of foil paper on my thing so I don't have to wash it. I just peel it off and lube it up, grease it up, and it's ready to go. I'll take a little picture of it and add it to the end of this video whenever I'm done, so you guys can see the finished product. It doesn't take a lot, and really you could do without the olive oil if you wanted to, and just make sure that it's face down. If it's face down, it won't brown at the top. If you like to have that little brown toasted look to it, you can leave it facing up. You don't have to oil out the outside. If you just oil the inside, you're fine. I'm gonna take that seed out. I'm gonna save those seeds. I fully intend on planting these. I have seeds, I think they're pumpkin seeds that I saved from last year too, that I'm gonna try and plant. So we'll see how that goes. So see, you just kind of cut it in half, take the seeds out. You've got a cute little bowl, and it's a heart. So just know that this is a little heart health for you too. Did you guys know that most of the vegetables and fruits that are out there are either shaped like the inside of the whether it's organ or whatever is system it's helping. Like, for example, like the kidney beans help your kidneys, tomatoes help heart health. It's so cool. Just a little nerd trivia for you. So there you go. I'm gonna put these in the oven too, and that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. You can drop them there. You can message them to me. That's totally fine. And I'm about to post who won Challenger of the Week. It was actually a tie. It was actually a tie this week, and I didn't announce it just yet because I've been on the go all day. So super cool. I think you guys might have an idea who it was. So just know that the more you share your sweaty selfies, your food pictures, all of that stuff, you get to be Challenger of the Week. And I know I keep saying I'm going to send something. I just don't know what to send. Maybe I'm going to create a poll, what I can send you guys. A little journal, I think. I have an idea that I'm going to send journals out to the next challengers of the week, so they can have a little like log or way to keep track of their stuff. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's not too insightful, but like I said, the way that I was able to succeed at staying on track has always been just to keep it simple. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be extremely complicated. Like, this saves time. It saves time. It saves money. I know I've cut down on my grocery bill. I've added, you know, 1 kid since I started this, because I was at 3 kids when I first started, but I know I've cut down on my grocery bill. I've cut down on how much time I waste doing senseless things. You know, I don't know why I never even thought that I could freeze some of the things. Like, I don't know why I didn't think that I could freeze fruit, vegetables, freeze bananas, that I could cook breakfasts and freeze them and make those little frozen breakfasts or frozen dinners. Like, I don't know why, but when I first started this, that was beyond me. Like, what? It was magical when somebody told me you could freeze that, you know. I think tomorrow I'll go live and share with you guys a little recipe, a breakfast 80-day obsession proved frozen. If you want to freeze ahead quesadilla for breakfast, like that. We forget to do stuff because we think it's just eggs and chorizo breakfast. So anyway, I am rambling, so it's time for me to go. You guys have an amazing night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy prepping.